I got started playing for my sister's graduation party. My dad wanted to save 50 quid. So he said, Stone, you got a lot of records. You can play. And I never DJed in my life. But I had a friend that had 2 milk crates of disco records. So I called him, hey man, we got a DJ. And I took it really seriously. I bought the SL1200s and the mixer. And then I played. And it was so fantastic. It was the first graduation party. In Sweden, we have them all in May. So all our friends, I printed cards, which I put on the sort of console. So people picked up the cards and I got a lot of phone calls. So I did basically one party every night in May '83, quite a while ago. And then we couldn't get enough, so we decided to start a club in Stockholm. So we went to 2-3 venues and said, we're pros, man. We know everything about this. Lied, of course, but one guy said, hey, I'm looking for guys like you, you know. Do you know anything about this? Oh, man, we know everything. We didn't, of course, but we managed to survive there for 3 years. And we made a bit of money, so we set up a studio. And then a dentist came in one day, Dr. Orban. And he said, hey, man, I want to do like a little rap. And then he did that Hello Africa track. One of my friends produced it. And it was a massive hit. So that basically funded operations for 3 years. And about that time, I had licensed a song called See the Day to Champion Records in London. And I asked them, I was a aspiring, young producer, do you have any old crap in the basement? And yeah, we do actually. We have this song called Show Me Love. So they sent me the 2-inch, which I still have. Sorry, guys. And I did a mix. It was a quick thing, 4 hours. And then they never called me anything. Thank you very much. And that was it. And 6 months later, I came to the UK, as you do, put the bag on the bed, and I put on the TV, and Top of the Pops was on Thursdays back in those days. So I'm packing up my stuff there, and I hear my song on TV in London. I look, what? And it was top 5 record there. And I asked the label, why didn't you tell me? Yeah, we didn't want your fee to go up, so they kind of kept it on the quiet. After that, the phone didn't stop ringing for 5 years. It was just remix city, really. And about 96, 97, I set up my label, Stony Boy, and it was in the vinyl days, so you couldn't do it in Europe because you wanted the shrink-wrapped vinyl. So I set it up in New York with a label called Wacko. Head Candy licensed a lot of my 90s stuff on their compilations, Disco Heaven and Back to Love and those compilations. So I met the guy, Mark Doyle, and he said, do you want to play our Miami party? So I DJed for them, and he was so excited. He asked me, do you want to become a resident? So I played for them a couple of years. And then 1 year in, he asked me, have you ever thought about doing an artist album? And I said, no, not really. Well, hey, do you want to make one? Are you offering me an album deal? Yes. So I did, and Put 'Em High. That, for me, that was like an album filler. Yeah, I have this weird piano track. And he said, oh, Stone, that's a top 10 in the UK. Oh, come on. And it was. I kept remixing, DJing, and it's just been going on like that, really. And in 2010, I got a Grammy nomination for that Neo Closer remix. And here we are, doing the same thing. It's changed quite dramatically. Now, people want to see the DJ play the song that they love. So it's a bit like rock and roll, really. They want to see the guy that made the record that they love. So, but it's also very important, sometimes I work on a track and I play it and I hear that the kick in the bass is not really working. So you go back and you tweak it and you play it at the next gig, and then finally you have it. So it's really important, I think. Plus you see what sounds and what type of breakdowns and intros and chord progressions and programming that works. There was one period in the 90s when I didn't DJ. And what happens is that when you don't DJ for a long time, you start to get more musical, more and more, because when you're in the studio, oh, this is just way too empty, I got to put a little piano in here and little Rhodes there and strings there. And when you play, and when you find it playing again, it's way too complex, because people can't really get that complexity. It has to be really simple. I mean, you forget how effective just a drop with just one sound. It's fantastic, especially if you have a complex wall of sound and then you break down to a little thing. It's very easy to get, tempted to put in more stuff. and fill it up. So I would say to make dance music you really have to play, or at least go to clubs and get inspiration, what works. I have 3 or 4 singers that I work with regularly. Krista Richards is one of them. And we have a new single that came out on Monday. Most of the time I send a track and they record the master vocals and send them over. I mean, it's all the internet these days. I try to, when I go touring, because I'm in the US at least twice a month. If I go to New York, I might go by Miami and record with someone. It's great in America now, especially with recession, you know. Studios are very happy for the business. One time in New Jersey, I went to this rock band. I can't remember the name of them, but you know, they had this massive studio and it was like Jimi Hendrix style preamps and stuff like that. And they're quite happy, you know, if you say, hey, what's that? And they're quite happy to connect all this old gear, and you can try 5 different mics and stuff like that. So I try to combine the touring with recording. I think you should rename this to the Magic Slider. This is where it happens. Good job you don't see the master fader. It's like flat. Listen to that. Beautiful.